Woo! Y'all ready to get rowdy? Welcome to Blunt Force Politics, where we don't whisper sweet nothings to the deep state. We shotgun them. I'm Dirty South Josh, and tonight, the DEMS are auditioning for Civil War. All right, here we go. I forgot to have the audio doubled up a little bit there, but that's okay. Sometimes a little shit can happen. Oh, like that. Like that. What happened to my webcam? Let's try that again. Oh, look at that. Now we're good. Now we're good. At least that was just a quick one. Because I logged out and I logged back in like right before I started. I digress. It's time for Blunt Force Politics. This is episode 15. I'm just some jackass on the internet that comes up with this crap because I have nothing better to do. But fire up a mini blunt. I'm too crippled to roll a whole one, so that's just how we do it here. Getting into my monologue, and I dip. Could rag later. Evening, freedom fighters, you snowflake skeptics, and that one liberal that's lurking in the comments, hoping I'll trip over my own red pill. I'm Dirty South Josh, broadcasting from the bayou where the gators make more sense than Congress does. Tonight's Blunt Force Politics is a fever dream, straight out of Orwell's Wet Nightmare. Dems telling our troops to flip the bird at orders like it's Office Space. Hillary Clinton humming Hit the Road Jack to Trump while dodging her own email ghosts. And a Pentagon fixing to court-martial a senator for playing armchair general. Y'all, if this was a movie, it'd be called Idiocracy 2, The Reckoning, with a Biden cameo as the potted plant at the White House. But let's cut the bullshit. We're 18 stories deep into why America's sliding towards a banana republic faster than a drunk uncle at a tailgate party. Top of the doom pile, that viral Dem video urging soldiers to review his illegal orders because nothing says defend the Constitution like undermining the chain of command. While Kamala cackles in the background. We're talking sedition with a side of soy latte, folks. And don't get me started on AOC eyeing 2028 like it's her personal Bart Simpson skateboard ramp to the White House. Girl's got more flip-flops than a Florida beach, but hey, at least she'd bring the Green New Deal. Solar panels on the border wall, anyone? Imagine the Slender Man stabber, that Wisconsin whack job, Morgan Geyser, my old home stomping grounds. Pulling a Houdini from her group home, hitching to Chicago like she's auditioning for the Fugitive sequel, the tween edition. The cops catch her. She goes, "Just Google me." Yeah, they did. 19 stab wounds ago. Edgy. If life's a horror film, she's the sequel nobody asked for. And I'm the critic yelling, "Pass the popcorn and the blunt." Ooh. Where'd the bottle go? I don't expect my program to be on Fox News Channel anytime soon. Alright, on a serious note, we've got the New Jersey MAGA moms dodging death threats from school board Karens who text like they're plotting a Sopranos hit over mask mandates. A Michigan couple hiring 250 illegals for their plumbing empire. Talk about a leaky pipe dream, flushing $74 million down the drain while Biden snoozes. And X, God bless Elon, dropping location tags that out foreign trolls pumping MAGA fakes like their bootleg moonshine. Turns out half of those America First accounts are running from Islamabad. Surprise, surprise, it's not Russia anymore. It's the globalist Rolodex spinning wild. And the big chill tonight, the Pentagon probe on Senator Mark Kelly, a Navy vet turned Dem diva for his refused orders TED Talk. We're grilling it deep tonight. The legal lowdown, Leavitt Savage clapback, calling it seditious death bait, and why this ain't just politics. It's a 5-alarm of fire on our military soul. Then we got the rapid fire blast of the rest. Swalwell's fraud farce. Comey's case crumbling like his credibility. Omar's calling Trump an embarrassment. While mirror shopping and a what the fuck pirate plot so batshit it'll make you laugh and cry into your AR-15 to lube it up. Y'all's polls out there got Newsom leading for the 2028 clown car from the left. Doge dead, but zombie walking through the swamp. The FAA's warning holiday flyers not to go full Karen mid-turbulence. Some Chicago teens dancing through Roxy Hart like Fame's the real killer. It's chaos, but here's the red pill kicker. Trump's winning because he's the antidote to the circus. Dems rage because they know it. So grab your popcorn, your prayers, your pitchfork, and your blunts, your bowls, your bongs, because blunt force politics is going to start right now. God bless America, and pass the ammo. Woo! We're going to hop right into the headlines of doom here. Just got to take a little break from my blunty blunt. I was glad. From the chat, we've just had some popcorn eaten in there, so that's good. You should be settled in for the headlines of doom. And headline number 1, the refusal illegal orders video is igniting backlash. All right, patriots. First up in our doom parade, these Democratic geniuses dropping a video that's basically a how-to guide for military mutiny. Yeah, you heard that right. Representatives like Elisa Slotkin and her crew, including that astronaut turned Senator Mark Kelly, put out this sick little PSA telling our troops, hey, if you get an order that smells fishy, just say no thanks. Millions of views later, and the Pentagon spinning like a top, warning about protocol breaches, while supporters cheer it as some kind of anti-tyranny shield. This ain't just talk. It's undermining the chain of command at a time when China's eyeing Taiwan and Iran's cooking nukes. Our boys and girls in uniform swear an oath to the Constitution, sure. But who died made these Congress critters the judge and jury on what's illegal? It's like handing a loaded gun to every private with a grudge. It's a recipe for chaos, folks. Let's not forget. Drops right after Trump's back in the Oval Office, promising to drain the swamp deeper than ever. Coincidence? Dude, it's preemptive sabotage. Imagine these Dems with that annoying backseat driver in your Humvee. Turn left. No, refuse that order. It's illegal. Meanwhile, the sergeant's like, lady, we're in Fallujah, not a Starbucks protest. Picture Slotkin in fatigues, refusing to pass the ammo because it might offend the enemy. Well, we've got a little video for you here on this, and I can't put it out there any better.
Congressman Chris D'Elisio joined 5 other Democratic lawmakers, all of them military or intelligence community veterans, to urge current officials to disobey illegal orders. Michigan Senator Elisa Slotkin, a former CIA analyst, posted the video. The lawmakers say threats to the Constitution are just coming from abroad.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Slotkin told the New York Times that she's heard from active duty troops who are concerned about the legality of strikes on people the Trump administration says are drug traffickers. The administration called the video an attempt to encourage the military to rebel against.
Yeah, it is.
All right, that's getting me hungry for...
That's exactly what it does, is it encourages everybody to break the chain of command. And if they do that, they're going to find themselves, like, arrested and sitting in Leavenworth and dishonorable discharge. That's what's waiting for them. I'm telling you, the video is so tone deaf. It's like advising cops to ignore speeding tickets if the driver's got a sob story. But seriously, military experts are piling on, saying it erodes trust, invites confusion, and could get people court-martialed for nothing. And the reactions from brass, well, some stone-faced warnings. It politicizes the ranks. Supporters crying safeguard democracy. Me, I call bullshit. If Obama's drones or Biden's border mess weren't illegal, why is Trump the boogeyman? You know, watch the suits lecture warriors like they're kindergarten teachers. You know, see Kelly pontificate. You can and must refuse illegal orders. Brother, you flew shuttles. Stick to space, not sedition. This ain't protecting the troops. It's putting a target on their backs. And the backlash? Vets groups are furious, calling it irresponsible. One retired general on Fox said it's undermining professionalism, and that's spot on. If this escalates, we're talking real fractures in our force. All because DEMS can't handle losing. Trump's building a stronger military, and these fools are trying to kneecap it before day one. So don't buy the hype. This is fear-mongering at its finest, and it's doomed for unity. I'm going to jump into our next great, wonderful headline. We got Hillary Clinton just living in fantasy. She's still nursing that 2016 bruise. You know, losing to Trump. She posts this video daydreaming about a giant national PA system blaring goodbye Trump, like some kind of dystopian alarm clock waking us to a Trump-free utopia. She shared it on Saturday. It's got conservatives roaring about division while her fans lap it up as cathartic satire. Serious beat, lady, you're a former Secretary of State. This ain't satire. It's sour grapes on steroids. Trump's back, he's bigger than ever, and you're out here wishing him away like he's a bad dream. It reeks of desperation, especially with the midterms looming in 26. She's tying it to civic action, urging folks to organize against him, but come on. This is the woman who called half America deplorables. She's the same woman who couldn't even keep a rein in on her own husband from blowing his load all over some dress in the Oval Office. Now she's fantasizing about a nationwide purge announcement. Sounds more like an authoritarian wet dream than a democracy-loving. Her national sound system is like, must be like the one she used when she used to delete 30,000 emails. Now imagine it blaring across America. Attention deplorables, Trump's gone. Now back to your baskets. But if it backfires, it'd be, hello, impeachment hearings. The backlash is real. Fox calling it divisive. Conservatives on X are roasting her as unhinged. Defenders say it's just venting amid tensions. Me, it's proof that the left can't move on. They're stuck in Trump derangement syndrome, looping it like it's a bad vinyl that needs a weight put on the arm. And tie this to the broader doom. If ex-leaders are pushing this fantasy, what's next? Calls for resistance cells? Let's just check out the video. I mean, she's just a cackling idiot.
You know what this reminds me of is I wish that there could be like a huge national sound system. And we would all wake up and they'd say, attention, attention, we have found the problem and we have solved it. He is gone. But the reason we're here tonight is to remind all of us, including ourselves, that that can't happen unless we make it happen.
Yeah, it can't happen unless we make it happen. It's a dystopian fantasy. I mean, I wish there could be a huge national sound system. She's just an idiot. The doom factor's pretty high on that. The desperation level even higher. Get over it, lady. Trump beat you even when you more than likely rigged it in your favor, which makes it even more enjoyable. On to the next headline of doom. The third doom drop. New York City's shiny new mayor-elect, Zohran Mamdani. Yeah, the socialist firebrand. Well, he met up with Trump on Friday for a chummy chat on urban woes like housing and immigration. Productive, they say, but come Sunday, well, dude's back on TV calling Trump a fascist who harms families. No soften, no retreat, just double down defiance. Some call him pragmatic for showing up. Others scream sellout or snake. Guy's about to run the Big Apple begging federal bucks for this blue utopia, yet he's trashing the boss. It's political theater at its worst. Shake hands and stab backs. Trump's pushing cost of living relief. Mamdani's playing both sides like a fiddle. Undermines trust, fuels division in a city already on the edge. Mamdani's like that date who compliments your truck, then keys it on the way out. You know, more like cordial invite to roast trumps the main course. Exactly what happened. I called it that it would happen. I didn't know if it was going to be Trump or Mamdani, but I said give it the weekend, we'll see what happens. And of course Mamdani took the bait and he did it. And brother, your socialist shtick is what's jacking rents. Influencers are divided. Bannon blasts it as betrayal. Fuentes flips out. From the conservative point of view, this exposes the lefty hypocrisy. Taking the meeting, trash the man. The doom alert. If the mayor starts this game now, the federal-state ties are going to crumble. Let's see what he said over on MSNBC.
And joining me now is the mayor-elect of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Mr. Mayor-elect, welcome back to Meet the Press, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be back.
Well, it is wonderful to have you here in person, fresh off of your first meeting with President Donald Trump. He praised you. He even...
I apologize for some lag here, apparently. Oh, come on. What has happened to my feed? Huh. Well, anyway, I don't know what happened with that, but he had she had asked him if he still believed that Trump was a fascist and a despot, and he said, oh yeah, everything I ever said from the beginning, I still believe that fully. That was NBC's Meet the Press clip where he drops the F-bomb, fascist that is. Yeah, you can watch him squirm. He still believes he's a fascist. It's priceless. Critics say he's immature. I say it's ingratitude. Trump's extending olive branches, and these fools burn them down. You know, and you know, it's going to be like the first sign of trouble. Trump's going to slap him on the ass, and that's going to be the end of that. Rumor has it now in our final doom headline, AOC might be eyeing 2028. The progressive princess reportedly gearing up for a 2028 White House glory, or maybe Schumer's Senate seat. Fox hosts call it the most powerful Dem challenge. I think I lost my internet connection here. Should be fine because I can reconnect that this way. They call it the most powerful Dem challenge since Obama, with her machine humming on fundraising and poll surging among the woke brigade. Serious note, the girl's building an empire, but her flip-flops on everything from borders to Green Deal screen opportunist. 2028, a wide-open post, Trump term limits, and she's positioning as the anti-establishment firecracker. But doom? Hi! Her socialist siren song could lure voters into more debt, regulations, and chaos. Polls show her leading progressives, but nationwide, toast against a real conservative. The humor hit on that is I don't think AOC could handle anything like that, at all. I think. Okay. AOC for president, that's like putting a barista in charge of the economy. One green New Deal latte. Hold the jobs. Her machine, more like a clown car honking toward utopia while running over reality. Seriously, though, speculation's rife. Axios reports she's weighing options, fundraising like mad. The reactions are Dems are excited, the GOP's laughing, and from the MAGA's point of view, she's the face of failed policies, defund the police, open borders. If she runs, it's just doom all over. It polarizes more and drags the party left. I have a clip of this.
Everybody's asking me what you've been thinking about these days. Well,
yeah, I bet. That's former Vice President Kamala Harris teasing her potential political future during her first major speech since leaving office. Now, sources say Harris is currently considering 3 options going forward. She could decide on a gubernatorial bid in her home state of California, a third run for the presidency, or to not seek elected office at all. A former senior Harris campaign official tells CBS News, quote, 75 million Americans voted for her. She's well positioned. As Democrats work toward finding their new messaging and identity, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been leading packed rallies around the U.S. with Senator Bernie Sanders. Her rising profile has some wondering if she might be the party's best bet to counter President Trump. Joel Payne is the man to talk to about all of this. He's a Democratic strategist and a CBS News political contributor, joining us from our D.C. bureau. Good morning to you, Joel. Let's start with AOC. She may try to lead a House Dems on the Oversight Committee. You've got some high-profile retirements brewing as well. What do you think her political future is?
Errol, good to be with you. She obviously was a candidate initially for that oversight ranking member spot for Democrats, and that initially went to Jerry Connolly, who recently decided to step back to focus on his health. I actually think that job might actually maybe be a little bit too small for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez right now. I'm sure she's considering it. She said publicly that she's weighing it. But it wouldn't surprise me if, given her expanding national profile, if she felt like she wanted to take that time to focus it on continuing to build a national brand, tell a national story, and build a broader coalition of support.
I mean, she really has been a rock star for Democrats since appearing on the national stage, really. And she was asked earlier this week about the articles of impeachment filed against President Trump by a Michigan congressman. Let's just share with our viewers what she had to say.
God bless CBS.
It should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president. Every president should know that if you break the law, you could be prone to removal.
So she says it should be on the table, but she didn't comment on whether or not she supported this specific move. Why do you think that might be?
I think she made the point there that a lot of Democrats feel you cannot take accountability off the table for any president and any elected official. For
Unless
that
they're
matter.
a Democrat.
I don't think she's focused on that, and I don't think writ large, by the way, Democrats are focused on it. The
Democrats are never focused on anything but filling their pockets and screwing the people out of anything they possibly can, without no one else the wiser. That's it for your headlines of doom. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Call now. And I lost my my screen there. Is this it? There it is. Welcome back, Patriots, from that commercial pit stop. Hope you all stocked up on paper towels and American flags. Now we're diving into the big grill, where I take the hottest story of the night. I'm going to chart into a little perfection. Tonight's victim was that bombshell from the Pentagon. They're launching a full probe into Democratic Senator Mark Kelly. Yeah, the Arizona astronaut vet over his star turn in that viral video urging troops to refuse illegal orders. Officials are even floating court-martial threats, calling it a dangerous politicization of the ranks. And to top it off, we've got White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt dropping hammers back in Trump's call-out of this as seditious behavior punishable by death. Folks, this isn't just politics, it's a direct assault on our military's backbone. Let's break it down like a recruit at a boot camp. Kelly, a retired Navy captain, joins 5 other Dem vets in this slick video talking straight to our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, CIA agents, saying you can and must refuse illegal orders. Sounds noble, right? But dig a little deeper. Drops weeks into Trump's second term with no specific illegal orders cited, even when questioned, is preemptive poisoning, implying Trump's gonna go rogue. Under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 92, disobeying lawful orders is a crime, but refusing unlawful ones is a duty. The key? Who decides what's unlawful? Not some senator playing armchair admiral for his cushy Capitol Hill perch. That's for the courts, not Congress. Pentagon spokesfolks are
The
fuming.
time is 7:30.
They're saying this erodes the chain of command, trust, and that's spot on. Imagine every grunt second-guessing orders in a hot zone because Kelly's whispering in their ear. It could cost lives, fracture unity, and embolden enemies like China or Iran who are watching this clown circus. But now the grill heats up a little bit. Trump's response, he blasted as sedition, a crime that is punishable by death under old-school laws like the Espionage Act or Article 94 of the UCMJ for mutiny. Hyperbole? Maybe, but it's a wake-up call. History lesson? During World War II, we didn't have senators telling troops to buck FDR. In Vietnam, anti-war protests stayed civilian. This crosses the line into incitement. Kelly's a vet. He knows better. But as a Dem, he's weaponizing his credentials to undermine a duly elected president. If this sticks, it sets precedents for partisan hacks to meddle in military ops. The next thing, troops refusing border duties because AOC calls them illegal. It's chaos. Picture Kelly in space floating around the ISS refusing NASA's orders because they feel illegal. Houston, we have a problem. Your trajectory is unconstitutional. This video's like Democrats handing out get out of orders free cards. It's a monopoly for morons. Seriously. The probe is real. The DOD confirmed investigation today, eyeing if Kelly violated protocols as a reserve or just plain ethics. Critics out there saying it's overreach. I say it's freaking accountability. Trump's admin is clean in house. There's no room for backstabbers. Here is the first clip.
Congressman Chris Delizio joined 5 other Democratic lawmakers, all of them military or intelligence community veterans, to urge current officials to disobey illegal orders. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a former CIA analyst, posted the video. The lawmakers say threats to the Constitution are just coming from a...
All right, so we just got to recap on that one because we just played the whole thing earlier. Well, we got good. Karoline Leavitt decided she was going to fire back on that from the pulpit over there. God, man, she's so beautiful. I tell you, conservatives are just gorgeous.
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. We were talking about before, earlier in this briefing, about the president's orders. You were going back and forth about what the ad said, what it didn't say. My first question is...
The ad?
The advertisement that the Senate Democrats were featured in. So the first question is, no matter what the order is, it could be to any administration official, military or otherwise, no matter if legal experts might think it's illegal. Does the president expect those cabinet members, administration officials to go ahead with those orders regardless of any outside thinking or experts?
The president expects his cabinet officials and the administration to follow the law and to demand accountability and hold people accountable for their dangerous rhetoric. And I would just add that if this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president and from the chain of command, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling. I'm going to let you all go because the president, excuse me, I appreciate the encouragement this morning, but this afternoon, but President Trump.
Yeah, listen to them. They're all, why, man. She called a Southern mama whooping sense and a naughty kid. I mean, y'all think you could defy the president? She's like, sit down before I make you. You know, sedition is punishable by death? Well, in D.C., that's just Tuesday, but for Dems, it's mostly peaceful protesting. Seriously, though, this probe could bench Kelly, maybe strip honors. Trump's rebuilding a loyal, strong military. These Dems are trying to hobble it with doubt. And you can tie it to the broader threats. If troops hesitate in crisis because of this bullshit, we're toast. Solutions? Enforce the military justice code strictly. Educate on real oaths and call out hypocrisy loud. And that's what we're trying to do here. Somewhat as best I can. As we winding down the grill, folks, the story is a red flag waving in like a hurricane. Kelly's probe exposes the less desperation, can't win elections, so sabotage from within. Leavitt's right. Dangerous, divisive, and damn near disloyal. From a conservative lens, protect our troops from this poison. The verdict? Well done, Treasonburger. Serve it up with the DOJ. And stay vigilant, Patriots, because the swamp fight's dirty, and that's the big grill. Charred and chewy. Where are we at? I forgot where I was at. Had a brain fart there. Oh, yeah. Okay. We've got our rapid fire segment. You know, the first off story, we got shit. Where are we? Ha! Man, I lost my Oh, wait, you know what? I think this is the one. I didn't have a... Okay, yeah. That's what it was. All right. Rapid fire. First one. We got the Slender Man stabber. You know, the story's lock and loaded. That Wisconsin wacko Morgan Geyser, one half of the Slender Man stabbing duo who gutted her classmate 11 years back to summon a creepypasta ghost, pulls a jailbreak from her Madison group home Saturday night, hitching to Chicago's Posen Hood. She's nabbed Sunday evening, cool as a corpse, telling cops, just Google me. Authorities got her back in irons quick. Now they're dissecting the dash like a bad horror sequel. This girl's a walking reminder our justice system's softer than a participation trophy. Institutional released after attempted murder sets a chill down every parent's spine, questioning if we're protecting society or playing pin the tail on the freaking victim. Honey, it says Psycho in neon. Escape to Chicago? What, auditioning for Chirac, the musical? Tough on crime means no slasher slumbers. Trump's border walls could use a domestic upgrade. Here's a clip of what that was all about.
Some breaking news. One of the women convicted in the Slender Man stabbing case is found after escaping her group home over the weekend.
Yeah, Madison police say Geyser found in Illinois last night. Bowen Drummond is following this for us in studio. Bowen, what happens next here?
Yeah, hey Donovan. Well, we are reaching out to the Dane County District Attorney's Office to comment about what will happen with Geyser next. Attorney Jonathan Lavoie, who is not connected to this case, says she will likely return to a state hospital. Now, police say Morgan Geyser cut off her monitoring bracelet and escaped a group home Saturday night. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections received an alert. Her GPS bracelet was cut, sparking investigators to begin the search. Madison police sending out an alert Sunday morning of Geyser's escape.
Psycho.
At the time, Geyser was last seen on near Cronky Drive with another person. In 2017, Geyser admitted she tried to kill Peyton Loiter to please the fictional horror character Slender Man. The attack happened in 2014, where Geyser and her friend took Leutner to a park. Geyser then stabbed Leutner 19 times. Geyser was found not criminally responsible due to mental illness. Back in March, state officials argued Geyser could not be trusted for release after finding out she did not tell her therapist she was reading a book about murder and black market organ sales. Lavoie says Geyser has now broken any sort of trust she may have had with the courts and hospitals.
So good. Sounds like she should be staying in a mental institution for the rest of her humanly eternity. In our next rapid fire, this one's a charm or a curse for Eric Swalwell. Ooh. The feds refer the California Democrat to DOJ over $1.2 million mortgage and tax fraud on his DC pad, courtesy of Trump appointee Bill Pulte. Swalwell spits back, witch hunt! Denies it all, vows to amp his Trump bashing as payback for his China spy scandals. Seriously, this probe's poetic justice. Guy's been slinging mud at Trump for years, now karma's knocking with liens. Exposes how Democrats weaponized IRS before, now it's boomeranging time, eroding faith in fair play. Mortgage fraud. Swalwell's house of cards collapses faster than his spy date alibi. That's just the Dems doing Dem stuff. Wanted everyone but Hunter, right? Swalwell's the poster boy for swamp slime. Indict and evict. Let's take a little clip at this douchebaggery.
Now, a top Trump official has referred the man you see right next to me, California Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell, to the Justice Department for an investigation into alleged tax and mortgage fraud. At the same time, though, the DOJ is joining a lawsuit to block California's new congressional map. CBS News Justice Department reporter Jake Rosen joins us now from our DC Bureau to help us understand that and the bigger picture. Jake, good morning to you. First, tell us about these allegations against Representative
This is the left media.
And how significant it is considering other opponents of Trump also being investigated.
Good morning, Errol. Well, this recommendation is simply that, just a recommendation by Bill Pulte, who runs a federal housing commission, who has recommended a number of Democrats for prosecution, some of which have been prosecuted. Think of Letitia James, who was just challenging her indictment in court yesterday and will continue to do so over the next couple of weeks ahead of a trial in Virginia. At the same time, this specific recommendation involves Eric Swalwell and a house that he owns here in Washington, D.C. There's our allegations, again, unfounded, just for now a recommendation to the Department of Justice to potentially prosecute him at a criminal level for potentially misusing both potentially a mortgage application and commit mortgage fraud, but also potentially taking advantage of a tax loophole that some congressional Republicans or congressional members, are able to get because they have multiple houses. They live part-time in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, think of it like that, and also live in their home districts. Swalwell is one of the few people who is still a very vocal critic of President Trump and actually has a pending lawsuit against him. He sued President Trump for civil damages after January 6th. That lawsuit is still continuing, and in a statement, Swalwell challenged President Trump to, quote, do better and be better, and said he expected this to have come actually earlier. We'll see whether the Department of Justice actually chooses to indict Swalwell, although I should just point out, Adam Schiff, another California senator, has also been recommended over the same premise of potentially...
Yeah, they're all going to get recommended to the DOJ. Imagine that, you know. It's retarded. It's retarded. That's how it goes. As for the chat, no, Katie's not in here. She just, connected. I think she fell asleep. So she's not really in here. In our next rapid fire, Marlboro Township's Danielle Belomo, proud MAGA mama on the school board, snags a protective order after uncovering texts from colleagues' hubbies wishing her dead, calling her a lying cunt over pro-Trump rants. From Fox interview, she said, they wanted me dead. Serious, this is ground zero for leftist lunacy. Local politics turning lethal because she dares parrot her kid's conservative. Erodes community trust and proves the tolerance mob's got fangs. Texts like that, school boards auditioning for Mean Girls tenure edition. It's a death wish for MAGA views? That's not debate, that's doxing with emojis. Let's get a load of this horse shit happening out there.
A New Jersey mother of 3 and outspoken conservative school board member says her life changed the day she saw a message that froze her in place. The message said someone wanted her gone, not disagreed with her, but wanted her dead. Her name is Danielle Belomo, a longtime volunteer and member of the Marlboro Township Board of Education. For more than a decade, she worked inside her community's schools. She ran for the board to support transparency, parental rights, and curriculum oversight. But she says she never imagined any of this would make her the target of something so dark. Recently, a judge extended a protective order against a man named Mitesh Gandhi, the husband of another board member, after a series of disturbing text threads surfaced. One of the group chats carried a title so vile, it shocked even seasoned parents in the district. In the messages, Belomo was insulted, mocked, and allegedly targeted with comments wishing for her death. Another screenshot that spread online showed a former board candidate making crude remarks about her appearance while she sat only a few feet away. The incident went viral, sparking outrage from parents and national figures who called the behavior disgusting and dangerous. But for Belomo, this wasn't politics. This was personal, and it reached straight into her home. Her teenage son now hesitates to go out with friends. Her 8-year-old cries on nights when she has board meetings. Her youngest keeps asking if she's safe. Even worse, her oldest child saw the inappropriate comments circulating on social media. Comments grown adults made about her own mother. She says the humiliation hit him hard. Belomo believes online arguments in town have existed for years, but this crossed a line. She says these weren't just heated disagreements, they were threats, insults, and conversations about letting her die alone. And even after the judge maintained her temporary protective order, she says the local prosecutor chose not to pursue criminal charges.
That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. Not to pursue criminal charges. Like, what the hell's up with that? And hey, that's okay. That's okay. All right, as we move on to the next one in our stories for rapid fire. This one's a bust for sure. Plymouth duo pitched for hiring over 250 illegals across states for their $74 million plumbing empire, housing them in squalor like modern-day serfs. Feds raid, uncover laundering. Prosecutors vow to torch it. Seriously though, Biden's border blunder birthed this beat, exploiting migrants while blue staters' virtue signal undercuts American jobs and floods the black market. I even got a clip for this. I do.
Well, our top story tonight involves the arrest of a couple who federal agents say ran a Michigan-based plumbing company which used hundreds of undocumented people here in Western New York and elsewhere. Prosecutors say that couple made millions of dollars while using these people who were not authorized to be here in the United States. Channel 2's Ron Plants looked at the criminal complaint and spoke this afternoon with a local labor leader.
$74 million. That's the sum that federal prosecutors in this criminal complaint say 36-year-old Moises Orduna Rios and 30-year-old Raquel Orduna Rios made from 2022 to August 2025 through their suburban Detroit, Michigan-based plumbing contracting firm called Orduna Plumbing. Federal Border Patrol and ICE agents say they did it through the use of over 240 undocumented workers, with the rest of such individuals here in Buffalo, Rochester, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, the criminal complaint says the case began here at the Extended Stay America Hotel in Amherst in January 2020 as Border Patrol agents were conducting surveillance. The agents say based on past encounters, they noticed a van registered to Orduna Plumbing and Moises Orduna Rios. The agents further say they spoke in a consensual way with a man near that van who said it belonged to his boss, and he admitted he was not legally here in the U.S. The Border Patrol agents next say they found two other co-workers in the man's room who also admitted they were illegally present in the U.S. and that all three were arrested. This investigation, with charges of harboring and employing unauthorized individuals for financial gain, conspiracy to bring in and transport more such people, and even money laundering, which then spread to other sites, including Michigan and Ohio, is no surprise to a local labor leader.
It happens all the time. It's a terrible thing.
These complaint exhibits show a Rochester home where agents say this past summer they found 9 illegally present workers for Orduna Plumbing living in a, quote, sparsely furnished residence. Again, no surprise for Paul Brown.
They'll pack 20 of them in a hotel room. It's pretty brutal. They don't pay any taxes, and the owner of the place will get the money and kind of distribute to these guys what he wants to give them. When it comes time that the IRS catches up to this, that they'll just go under a different name. And like this company you just talked about, I wouldn't be surprised in 6 months if they're operating under somebody else's name. It happens all the time.
Damn right it does, and they need to start jailing the people that do it, you know, and stripping all their money they made from it as well. All right, next up, Elon has slapped country tags on profiles, unmasking fake MAGA bots as Euro trash, and Islamabad ops pumping pro-Trump poison for chaos cash. Outrage explodes. Privacy whines versus transparency cheers. Seriously, it vindicates DEMS Russia fever? Nah, it exposes globalist astroturf. Foreign meddling twisted our discourse like a pretzel. MAGA from Mumbai? Well, that's curry in the red pill. Location tags. Finally, X says, you're not from around here, go home. Conservatives win. Elon's draining the digital swamp. We're finding out that all these foreign fake accounts that are pumping the bullshit MAGA stuff, all the fake stuff, is not even tied to Americans in the first place. That's awesome. All right, where are we at here? The next one is Gavin Newsom. He's riding high in the 2028 Dem polls, topping Vance according to hypotheticals in California, Alaska, and Ohio. Newsweek maps his playground in Buttigieg, Whitmer Trail, but post 24 is autopsy fluid. Hair Gel King's lead screams establishment panic, but he's probably going to tank after all, especially if he goes up against AOC. I think, to be honest, I think AOC would have a better chance, because just look at California. AOC hasn't personally destroyed a whole giant state, but you know, Newsom's managed to destroy Los Angeles and California, so we'll see what happens with that. Where was I at? Boom. They're saying that James Comey, that's where we're at. Comey and Letitia James' case, a federal judge axes the indictments on Comey and James, ruling Trump interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's gig a partisan hack job violating federal law. Due process wins, halts misconduct probes, but seriously, blow to accountability. You know, both the cases were dropped because someone didn't follow the correct procedures and policies.
Federal case against former FBI Director James Comey has just been dismissed after a judge determined the interim U.S. attorney who brought the case, Lindsay Halligan, was unlawfully appointed. I want to bring in MS Now senior legal reporter Lisa Rubin, legal affairs reporter Fallon Gallagher, and Peter Baker stays with me. Guys, I was just handed the 29 pages of this. I don't know if either of you is a speed reader, but give us the high points or low points, depending on your perspective here.
There are two, and I should also break, Chris, on our air that this order, it looks as if Judge Cameron Curry has also entered a similar order with respect to Letitia James, who is also being prosecuted by the same office and by Lindsay Halligan in particular. My two high points here are as follows. One, this is a dismissal without prejudice, which means that the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia has an important choice before it. There is a federal statute that allows a case that has been time barred but is dismissed for other reasons to be brought again within a 6-month period of time. Theoretically, that gives the U.S. Attorney's Office then 6 months to bring the case.
Yeah, we don't need to listen because this is going to be slanted, MS Now, MS I took a crap, and they just they just have to assign a different person, and we'll be absolutely fine on that one. Where? I thought I had something. Man, I'm getting all mixed up here. Ilhan Omar is next on this, getting towards the end of the rapid fire section and the end of the program here. She drops a viral video slapping Trump as an embarrassment on the national stage. She's a joke. You marry your own brother, and then lecture me.
Joining us tonight is Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Thank you so much, Congresswoman, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, in recent news, you have France that just yesterday, along with about a dozen other countries, said that they would recognize Palestinian statehood. Does it weigh on you, or what is your response that America really remains an outlier with its allegiance to Israel?
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good news that right now about nearly 75% of UN member states have recognized a Palestinian state. It is important for the United States to engage in a process where it does lead to that recognition. And join the rest of the world. We know that it is really important for us to do everything that we can to end the genocide that's taking place in Gaza, to have humanitarian access, to stop the starvation, and finally come to a resolution to this decade-long conflict that we have seen between the people of Palestine and the people of Israel.
In reaction to some comments that you had made about Charlie Kirk and his passing, President Trump recently referred to you as scum. He went on to call your home country, Somalia, saying it was plagued by a lack of central government control, persistent poverty, hunger, terrorism, piracy. He went on. What's your response to that and to others who have said you should go back to where you've come from?
Yeah. Well, it is disgusting for the President of the United States to disparage a country that we have devoted so much energy in helping stabilize. He certainly knows that Somalia does have a government. They're on their way in creating some strides to make sure that they have stability, security, and economic vitality. But also it is important for us to recognize just how wrong, sinful, bigoted it is for the President of the United States to join the online trolls in saying that I should be sent back to where I came from.
Your reaction, though, on the flip side to people who are saying, look, we often look to politicians as leaders and we need to turn the temperature down, and you've recently said that the country is being run by a bunch of idiots.
Well, our president is embarrassing on a national stage. You've seen him not understand that members of Congress can't be impeached, as he calls for my impeachment. You've seen the chaotic ways in which he has led the country. You see him lie.
Can't be impeached, maybe, but censorship, removal
on Americans.
Vacation.
So it is really important for us to recognize that we're not being led by the brightest.
All right, I don't want to listen to her ramble on anymore. She married her freaking brother to sneak him into this country, and that's the kind of crap we have going on. It's just retarded. We've got, let me just play this quick. We got some storms that are going to probably affect your Thanksgiving travel plans. Roll it! Roll it, coach!
As we speak of the holidays, 2 possible storm systems could cause chaotic Thanksgiving travel for parts of the U.S. Jen Sullivan is tracking the forecast and has the details.
Airports across the country are bracing for the busy holiday season. The FAA is predicting this to be the busiest Thanksgiving travel period in 15 years.
As we go into the holiday, it's going to be full. It's going to be packed. The airlines are ready. The air traffic controllers are back.
Tuesday is expected to be the peak travel day with more than 52,000 flights. But the weather could cause major disruptions in parts of the country.
From this weekend into early next week, there's one system and then another system moving in.
A large portion of the country could see rain this weekend, with the worst hitting parts of Texas and the southern plains. The second system bringing a cold front, where rain could turn to snow in some areas like Minneapolis as early as Tuesday. This comes as AAA expects a record-breaking 82 million people to travel 50 miles or more next week, with at least 73 million on the roads.
You should not be driving in inclement weather.
AAA spokesperson Aixa Diaz says even a little bad weather can cause delays on roads as drivers hit the brakes. If you are driving, AAA says some of the worst times to travel are Tuesday between noon and 9 p.m., Wednesday between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m., and Sunday between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m.
All right, there you go. That's the time, and holy crap, I got just enough time for one more word from our sponsor before we got to dip on out of here. All right, we got to get through this quick. This is the what the fuck of the day. I'm just going to play the video straight up.
These are the North Texas men federal prosecutors say were planning to travel to an island in Haiti to kill the men and turn the women into sex slaves. Dr. Alex Del Carmen calls it the most bizarre case he's seen in his entire career.
Well, you know, this is a very unusual case, right?
According to a federal indictment, 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg from Allen and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas from Argyle had been plotting to invade Gonave Island with a population of 87,000, which is part of Haiti. Prosecutors say Weisenberg and Thomas planned to invade the island by sailboat, heavily armed, using homeless people they would enlist from Washington, D.C. to murder the men on the island, take control of the territory, and then turn the women into sex slaves. Prosecutors say Thomas prepared for the attack by enlisting in the Air Force for military training, and Weisenberg enrolled in a fire training academy but later flunked out. Both men are accused of manufacturing child pornography by manipulating and exploiting a juvenile. I talked to Del Carmen about the wild and highly implausible scheme.
I think it's more than just talk, right? So typically what federal prosecutors will do is they're going to look at what sort of planification, took place, and whether or not there was an intent, and in addition to the intent, whether these individuals had the capability of doing this. And all of these elements of the crime are present in this particular case.
But in a statement to Fox 4 News, the attorney for Gavin Weisenberg said, "I encourage everyone to hold their horses and stay tuned. An indictment is simply an allegation. And while there is some truth to the allegations, I believe that it will become clear what actually did not, and could not have happened."
Yeah, we'll see what really transpires from that. Well, anyway, that's a wrap on sedition season. If tonight's truth bomb hit home, you can tip me using CashApp tag bluntforcepolitics. Draining the swamp ain't free, but it's worth every penny. Until next time, remember, in America, we don't just wave the flag, we charge with it. Bayonets fixed and freedom firing. God bless the USA, and may your enemies trip over their own bullshit. This is Dirty South Josh of the DeSoto National Forest, and I'm out.